Good afternoon once more. Thank you for this second session of this lesson. This is a mathematics class. Mr.Geoffrey going to take you through this particular lesson. Thank you and welcome. Now, in our previous class, we have talked about reflection. And we have learned about that when we reflect an object, the image and the objects looks alike. That means the image and the object are the same. Let us consider the diagrams below. The diagrams are on the board. The diagrams on the board will have triangle A, B, C. Triangle A, B, C is an object. Then A prime, B prime, and C prime is the image of triangle A, B, C. M1, I've named this line M1 to denote the mirror line M1. Remember that the mirror line is also the line of symmetry of the other. So this is the image of the first triangle. That's why I gave it A prime, B prime, and C prime. And remember, we did say that from the mirror line, the distance from the object to the mirror line must be the same as the distance from the mirror line to the image. And that is exactly what we have here. So we'll have the image there. Then the same image, again we reflect the image to give us a third image. The second image, it is going to give us a second image, which is going to be under the mirror line M2. So let us look at the mirror line M2. M2 is the mirror line. Point A prime is reflected to A double prime. Point B prime is reflected to B double prime. The prime means it is a coordinate of an object after reflection. So, and point C is reflected to this particular one, point C double prime. And that one will have three types of triangle. It is the same triangle. But when you look at this triangle, the first triangle, the second triangle, and the third triangle, there are some triangles that are similar. Like the first triangle is facing the same side as the third triangle, while the second triangle is the image of the first triangle, but the way it appears or the way it faces is different from the first triangle and the last triangle. Now that one brings us to what is called congruency. When two figures are congruent, then there are conditions that must be met. When two or more figures have the same shape and size, then they are said to be congruent. Like when you look at these three triangles, they have the same shape and same size. Therefore, they are congruent. The symbol for congruency is three lines. We know in mathematics we normally use equal sign, which is two lines. But for congruency we are going to add a third one. That is now the symbol for congruency. So we can say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, which is also congruent to triangle A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Those two triangles are congruent. The three triangles are congruent. There are two types of congruency. We have the direct congruent and indirect or oppositely congruent. Now, when you go back to our diagram, we'll see that triangle A, B, C, and A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime are facing the same side, and they appear at the same what? Same size and same shape. Therefore, they are called direct congruent or directly congruent triangles. When you look at triangle ABC and triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime, those two triangles are indirect congruent, or what we call oppositely congruent. Congruent triangle must satisfy the following conditions. 1. The three sides of one of the triangles is equals to the corresponding side of the other triangle. The three sides of one of the triangles is equals to the corresponding sides of the other triangle. So when you look at, for example, the triangle ABC and triangle PQR, those triangles are said to be congruent. When you look at the side, this side is equals to this side, and this side is equals to this side, and this side is equals to this side. Therefore, the three sides are equal. Such triangles are said to be congruent. If the three sides are equal, then therefore, those triangles are similar. They are the same in size and shape. Therefore, they are congruent. So that is how we identify congruent triangles. Or we can say that is the first condition. The second condition that we can look at is two sides and the included angle of one of the triangles are equal to the corresponding two sides and included angle of the other triangle. Two sides and the included angle. When two sides of a triangle are equal, for example, we look at these two triangles. When two sides are already equal, then definitely an angle between them is equal. Then definitely we can conclude that the third side must also be equal. Because when this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side, and this angle is equal to this angle, then therefore the line BC and PQ must be equal. So once we were doing the investigation, and we are going to see this, we find that when two sides and an angle between them are equal, then we say those two triangles are congruent. Because definitely a third side will be equal. Then we also look at two angles and a side of one of the triangles are equal to the corresponding two angles and the other triangle. Now, when two angles of a triangle are equal, then definitely a third angle must be equal. For example, when you look at these two triangles, we have triangle ABC and triangle PQR. When you look at this angle and this angle, this angle and this angle, if this angle is equal to this angle, then this angle is equal to this angle. Therefore, it follows that this angle must be equal to this angle, because sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So therefore, when we have two angles being equal, then definitely a third angle must be equal. And that one confirms that those two triangles are similar. Therefore, they are said to be congruent triangles. Therefore, for congruency to be approved, we must confirm using the sides. We can confirm it using the angles, or we can confirm using both the angles and the what? And the sides. So in our next class, we are going to look at how we are going to confirm two triangles that are congruent mathematically, or when we do them expressionally. Otherwise, thank you and have a nice day.